Good morning, everybody. Myself, Acharya Vishvendra, and today I shall be talking on the very fundamental aspect of human consciousness or human experience, which is the human mind-brain system. So, as you can see in the image, this is a metaphoric representation of everything mechanical or physical inside us. It corresponds to a digital IC comprising of transistors, resistors, capacitors, wires, which forms the basis of the microprocessor used in digital circuits, maybe in computers, maybe in smartphones, maybe in any digital device. So the same thing is happening within us. Or in a way we are a bit mechanical and follow certain rules. As electrons flow in a digital circuit and it creates certain output. In the very same way, neurons flow inside the human brain and it induces certain output. You are doing anything, but at the level of the neurons are being fired, are being triggered, and they are acting to generate some output. So there is a reminiscence between human mind-brain system and the digital circuits. In fact, every digital circuit is fundamentally based on the concept of human mind-brain system. Because human mind-brain system has developed the digital circuit and not the vice versa till now, we can say for sure. But there exists something metaphysical or something beyond the mechanical thing, or something that we call as maybe mind or the consciousness or the emotions. So if you feel yourself, if you observe yourself, that why you are doing certain things, why you are studying, why you are into a business, why you are into a job. So at the very fundamental level, we do something because of the survival mode. We do something because fear factor is concerned with that work. Suppose you are into a job. So if you frankly ask yourself why you are doing that job, the answer is that because it will fetch you money, and money will make sure that you live a quality life free from pains, griefs, and emotional disturbances. So everybody is under the influence of some sort of mechanism which is dominated by certain emotions, certain feelings. It seems like you are trapped in a matrix and you are bound to do work. As said by Lord Krishna in Gita that सभी कर्म से बंधे हुए हैं. Everybody is bounded by the law of karma. You want it or you don't want it, that doesn't matter. Everybody is bounded by the karma. Even if you are not doing anything, then your organ systems are working in a certain way. And they will keep on working until you live. And who knows, after you die also. Because if you see a dead body and just leave it, then processes, it will start decaying. Decaying is itself a process. Something is happening within the dead body itself, within the organ system themselves. Life means that the factor which was organizing things, which was making organ systems to work as a system, has just disappeared. If we analyze two different bodies, one is dead and another is alive, what is the difference between these two? Both are same at the physical level, at least at the very instant of the death. But what is that which differentiates between a live body and a dead body? If we think of at the neurological level, then it is the neural coordination. If we observe the neural patterns of a live person, then neurons are interacting in a certain way. And the faculty which is acting as a boss to orient neurons in a certain way is the consciousness or the mind or the metaphysical entity or the hyperdimensional entity which interacts with the physical dimensions, with the physical aspect, and bounds it to do certain things, do certain work. That is as simple as that. So if we observe the electric current in a digital circuit, then the driving force behind flow of electrons is the electric field itself. There is a source of energy which is moving the electrons in a certain way. In the very same way, if we observe a human brain at the level of the neurons, then neurons are working in a certain way. They are being triggered by some metaphysical mechanism. And the source of energy behind the firing of neurons and their interaction in a certain way is reminiscent of the electric fields or ultimately the quantum fields. So if we think in that way, isn't the consciousness or the mind related to the quantum fields ultimately? Because if we observe ourselves why we do something, so there is somebody inside us who suggests us to work in a certain way. And as said in the Shiv Purana that work is something that gives pleasures. That is definition of work. शिव पुराण में कहा गया है कि कर्म वही है जिसका परिणाम आनंद हो. So fundamentally what we do is because of feeling of certain pleasure or certain positive feeling. That is a fundamental driving force behind every work. And that pleasure has got certain levels. It is being said that there are 7 quantum levels of consciousness or 7 levels of the pleasure that we think of. The first being the survival mode, the physical mode. And these 7 levels or the 7 states of pleasure are being synchronized with 7 chakras in the human body. Each chakra corresponds to a particular state of pleasure. For most of the people, pleasure means the physical pleasure, which means food, water and sex. And most of the people live at the physical level. They are working just to make sure that they enjoy food, they have water to drink, and they can have sex, they can reproduce, which is the basic function of any species. And whatever they do, at the very basis, there is dominance of the physical level pleasure. People talk big in front of others just to impress them, but internally there is something inside them which is searching a plan, a mechanism, an access mechanism for enjoying pleasure at the physical level. Rest of all is use of words and melodramatic events created by the human consciousness. And beyond that physicality, there exist metaphysical dimensions, there exist pleasures of higher dimensions. But you will think about them when you are fully satisfied with the pleasure level at the fundamental level. So there are certain hierarchies even for the pleasures. So we can say that quantum physics dominates human consciousness also.